Oh yeah. All right. So, round 9 of the Divebomb eSports Gran Turismo League has just finished up, and well, I won the race and I won the championship. I'm very fucking excited. This is great. It was an intense championship. It was 9 rounds, and we're just gonna go through them and do a bit of a recap of the season and see how we got here. So, Nurburgring was round 1. It's 15 laps around the Grand Prix circuit. I remember I did a bunch of fuel saving towards the end of the race, but it wasn't enough, and I finished 5th. So I just ran out of. Well, I didn't run out of fuel, but I didn't have enough fuel to sort of race in a higher power mode at the end of the race. So I ended up 5th. I remember it was a decent race though. I was on course to win, but no matter, because the next race at Monza, which was 15 laps as well, I won. Unfortunately, there's no footage of these races because I wasn't streaming them because I was a bit more casual about this league when it started. So Monza, we don't have the victory footage, but I think with that one, I remember I won convincingly by like a good 10 seconds or so in front of the pack. So wouldn't have been much to watch. Next round 3, Willow Springs, 15 laps. I didn't expect to do well in this race, but with everyone still getting used to how the pit stops worked and the catch up and the league and whatnot, it's 15 laps and I won again. So this is the second win on the trot. I think around this time too, I also won at Imola in the Formula One league for Divebomb. So I was on a bit of a roll at this point, which was pretty cool. So we got Willow Springs, and then the week after that, Laguna Seca, 15 laps. This is round 4. Another win. Another win. I only remember this because I remember I did win 3 races in a row. And I don't remember much of Laguna. Again, I didn't stream it, so there's no footage. But I think a few of the other guys did, so there might be a bit of something we can look up. Sorry, I've got a bit of indigestion from too much orangina and tropical cordial. It's good to, celebrating my championship in style. So, yeah, now we're off to round 5 at Brands Hatch. And another fuel saving disaster for me. I think I finished 4th in this race, 5th or 4th. I think it was 4th. Yeah, I just didn't have enough fuel towards the end of the race. I think I underfueled or something like that. I forgot who won. I think it was Harry Ryan that won, who ended up being my main rival towards the end of the championship. At the start, it was Justin Ladaway. He had, I think he won in round 1, and he was finishing on the podiums in the other races. So, yeah, he was doing alright. And then Harry Ryan started to catch up and get his groove on, because he's absolutely unstoppable in the F1 and sort of made progress in GT Sport as well. Either that or I'm just more on his pace in GT Sport and he's just quick either way, which he is. So, Mitchell Collin didn't really race that much, my teammate in this league, but I think he did race at Laguna Seca. That was his first. Maybe Willow Springs, I'm not sure. But anyway, Brands Hatch. So yeah, we finished 4th. And then we go to Goodwood Motor Circuit. It's a 20 lapper. And I think I finished 2nd. Harry Ryan won, I think. But we had to null the race results, null and void the race results, because the admins, for whatever reason, wanted to. I don't know why. Admins do what they do with their leagues. So no points for that for anyone. So we go to Dragon Trail, a Croatian circuit. So it's kind of my home circuit. I wanted to do well here. Mind you, all these races, I'm not really the best qualifier, so I don't know if I've qualified first for many of them. Not really. I tend to qualify sort of third to 5th, depending on how many people are racing. So Dragon Trail, I was on course for a top 3 finish with Mitchell and Harry, but one of the Nissan Skylines, I think it was JC, he hit me from behind into turn 1 on lap, I don't know what it was, probably lap 10 or 11, and bumped me way out of contention with the guys with the guys up ahead. So I had to settle for 4th, I think, after I had a bit of an accident in the last corner of the last lap myself. So yeah, it's racing. What are you going to do? Then Bathurst. So round 8. Bathurst, 20 laps. This race was intense. I qualified, I think, fourth. And then Skiddy, out of nowhere, he goes into turn one, into the lead, and he leads for a lap, and everyone's battling behind, and I'm staying behind him, and I lead for 19 laps of this race. And Harry Ryan just manages to chase me down and get me on the second last lap down Conrod Straight to the chicane. It was I've learnt from my mistake. I should have defended on the other side, but that's all right. You know, you live and learn. The only way to get better is to make mistakes, and yeah, when you run with people who are faster than you or at your pace, you certainly learn a lot. See, that was an intense race. If you go back and watch the footage, I certainly wasn't happy afterwards, but it was all good. It was good hard racing there. I just wasn't fast enough over the 20 laps. If it was 10 laps, I would have made it. If it was 15 laps, I would have made it. But it was 20 laps, and Harry did it. So yeah, he deserved that. He wins Bathurst, probably the most prestigious race on the calendar for this Australian league. And then round 9, the Red Bull League. After the whole season, those 7 rounds, or whatever it was, 7 points paying rounds, me and Harry were 1 point separated by 1 point. I was ahead of him by 1 point coming into this round, and I did it. I won. How did the race happen? So, qualified third. It was pretty intense qualifying actually between me, Harry, and Mitchell, until Harry pulled like 0.4 of a second out of nowhere. Out of fucking nowhere. We all get a decent start. We're all battling for a few laps. So that was all good. And then the pit stops come and catch up happens, and Mitchell sort of gets swamped by a few people, and he loses a few positions, and I come in, and I was people getting hit off the track. I lost it once going off actually, like around lap 10 or 11. I got off onto the gravel, and then Harry managed to pass him, but I managed to pass him again straight away. It must have been catch up or something. It was just weird because Boost was on for this league, and it makes racing fun. I think casual racing with Boost is good, but if you want to do serious league racing, turn it off. I reckon. I reckon we should. But it's all right. It's good for casual racing, as I said. But yeah, coming to the last lap, I was ahead by like, I don't know, 5 or so, no, about 3 seconds for the last four laps or so. And Harry and Mitchell are coming up behind me. And it was like 1 lap to go, and they were 1 second behind, and they kept creeping up. I was a bit nervous, and my tyres were going, and they caught up in the last corner, and they're just behind me by like a tenth or two. It's like a photo finish basically between us. But look, if I made just one mistake, I would have lost it, and Harry would have won. So it is intense racing. So yeah, I want to thank Harry and Mitchell for a good season, racing. Hopefully Trent organises something for Gran Turismo, and I'm more than happy to help him for the next league for Divebomb eSports. Formula 1's still going on. We're not even halfway through that season yet. I think we're at the Red Bull Ring next, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, fucking won the championship. My first league racing championship, drivers championship. I think we won the constructors too, me and Mitchell, the team's championship, I should say, but that doesn't matter as much. Won the title. The Divebomb eSports GT championship. It's the first Divebomb championship eSports. Fuck yeah.